Started with myself and Dan Silio and John McMullen. John McMullen dropped out. Big Sills drops out. It's now me and the great people here on JAKIB Sports. I want to start this segment by thanking all of you for your great support and viewership. I know we're in a weird place with this team at 2-2, but you guys have really supported the channel, and you guys are like my friends, man. You guys have helped, our platform become such a dominant force, and I can't thank you guys enough, especially in the last 30 to 60 days. It's been tremendous, the amount of support we've gotten here at JAKIB, and we're all kind of going through this season together. And I wonder if some of you share this thought as I thank you guys for your support. I'm stuck right now. I'm stuck between a rock and a hard place with this team. I want so badly to believe that this team is capable of greatness. And I define greatness as getting to a Super Bowl and potentially winning a Super Bowl. I want to believe that so bad. I want to believe that Jalen Hurts is an elite quarterback that can rise us to the end, and instead of walking off with the confetti falling, with a grin, he can walk off with a smile. I want to believe that that's where we are. Every time I watch this team, every time I talk to people who have been around the game much longer than I have, Dan Silio, John McMullen, even some of the people in the chat who I talk with, even Bob Brown, who I'm hoping will join us, who's been a fan of this team. It's hard. It's getting harder and harder for me to believe that this team is capable of greatness to that extent. And, that's where I am as an Eagle fan. And, I'll even scoot it right into the quarterback with Jalen Hurts. And, that's where I am with Jalen. Someone was like, you're flip-flopping on Jalen. I'm like, I know. You think I don't know that? I want this guy to be great. I predicted him in the beginning of the year. I want him to be the MVP. I want him to lead us to the promised land. I want him to be great. I predicted that on the show. It's in black and white. You can go and pull the clip. Now I'm watching him and I'm like, he's not elevating anybody. He's still mopey. He's not doing what I wanted him to do. He's not doing what we all wanted him to do. It's a tough spot to be as a fan because you're like, what do you do? Where do I go? What do I think? And, I wonder if anybody shares those thoughts with me. I'm ranting a little bit, but, an African surf says I'm def flip-flopping. Well, African, I'm flip-flopping because I think the player's flip-flopping on me. I don't think he's been as good as he should be. And I think he's gone from good game to bad game to good game to bad game. 7 turnovers in 4 games, 27 in the last 22. African surf. We can't just write that stuff off as it doesn't matter. It does matter. So we're going to see. I'm going to take a couple super chats, and then I'll drop the link and have you guys join me. It says my connection's a little low. Can you guys just give me a chat as long as my connection should be still holding strong, but I just got a notification. Let's go to Terry Hayes. Terry, if you're still in here, man, I do want you to reach out to me. I have a special, I'd like to send you to a game here. I just spoke with, our ticket guy at JAKIB, the guy that helps us get tickets when we need them. And Terry was the very first person to become a JAKIB Legend member. The very first person. JAKIB Legend is basically just the top tier of membership here on YouTube. And it's really just you're supporting us. That's basically what it means to be a JAKIB Legend, is that you're supporting us to the highest level that basically is there. And Terry was the very first person, and we've had 2 that have done it. So Terry and Lucius, and I'd like to send Terry to a game if he's up for it. Now, if he doesn't want to do it, that's fine. Or he's not in the area, or whatever the case may be. I'll do something else for Terry. Maybe it's a jersey. Maybe it's a JAKIB Care package, whatever it might be. By the way, the merch line's coming great, guys. You guys are going to love it. And Abe, I'm going to email you tonight, Abe, with some stuff. There's some really good stuff in the works. So very excited for that. But Terry says, I blame the front office. Like Sil said, they shouldn't have changed what he did in 22. If we had 22 Hurts with Barkley, it would be insane. It's a good point. I mean, this is just not the same Jalen Hurts right now. And they're not trying to keep him. They're not trying for him to be the same. And I don't think he wants to be the same, right? I think he's tried to evolve in a way. And, you bring up a good point. How scary would this be if we still had that? But can't live in the past, Terry. I mean, it's unfortunate to go backward, but that's where we're at. Prince Swayze checks in. Prince, thanks for all your support today, man. Appreciate your support of this channel as always. Even when you go back and forth with Big Sills, it's all in good fun and we're just talking football. So Prince checks in. He says, so we had an elite Wentz and messed him up. We have Jalen playing out of his mind and messing him up. Bro, you guys don't see it. Prince, that's a hell of a point. That's a hell of a point by Prince. I mean, Prince, but I will say this. That doesn't excuse. That means you're admitting that Jalen is playing bad, because you've been critical of Cilio, who's saying he's playing bad. You're right. Maybe it is a bigger problem. Maybe it's the organization. Maybe it's something bigger, that's a trend, and the organization is the common denominator, not the quarterback. But that doesn't mean he's not playing good. I mean, he's still playing very poorly right now. So, turning the ball over way too much and just not the guy. But it's a good take by you, Prince. And I appreciate you putting that in there. Brian Pumper checks in. Number one is not the one. The team has already started to show like they don't want to play for him. He pulled the jack move on Howie. I'm not sure exactly what you're going for there, Pumper, but you have been hard on Hurts. And, I hate to say it, you're starting to be more and more right. If he can't elevate, any of the guys around him, at what point do we have the conversation that, look, we're just not going to go as far as we want to go with him at the helm, especially paying him elite money. I don't have a problem with him making elite money. I think it's great for the guy, great for the player, whatever. But if you think you can build a good enough defense and a good enough roster, with a quarterback that's not going to elevate players, you just don't have the right recipe to win. Now, if your quarterback plays like elite quarterback, it's the right recipe. But so I don't fault the contract, but I will say the player deserves some flack for not playing up to it. Jack Dwight checks in. Jack, thank you for checking in. Brother, I'm going to try and get to as many comments as I can. I do appreciate all of you being here. When 22 started, most had doubts that Hurts was a franchise quarterback. Eagles won a lot, went to the Super Bowl. Then Foles said he was a top 5 quarterback. Well, Jack, you highlight why I'm going up and down on the guy, right? I mean, the dude came in I was a freshman at Alabama when Jalen Hurts was a freshman. We were at Alabama at the exact same time. He was a celebrity on the damn campus. When he walked around, everybody, called his name. So I've been watching him since the start. And yeah, I mean, everybody had their doubts about him being a college quarterback. Then he becomes an MVP, and now he's back to not elevating guys. That's why it's been a roller coaster a little bit. So no doubt about it. Pumper checks in again. We about to storm the NovaCare in the 6th. I have Jalen on a skillet, and his ass is cooked. Get this bum off my squad. Pumper, I'm not going that far, man. He's our quarterback, and I'm still going to ride with him. But he's got to be better. There's no doubt about it. So let me just check in on the regular chat, make sure everybody's Emily's good. James A checks in. Zander, exactly. He's not living up to the contract. James A, I would agree. I would agree with that for sure, man. I think that's a completely fair comment to make as an Eagles fan. African Surf says, we can all agree he's playing bad, but it's also not his usual play. Well, African, if you zoom out a little bit, and this is where like I said, I'm stuck in between a rock and a hard place. Is Cilio right? I mean, 22 is now African. The deeper we get away from 22, the more it looks like that was a one of. That was not the usual. That was a one of, and everything else looks different than it looked in 22. That's going to be a question we're going to have to answer soon, and it might be a tough answer. I hate to say it. Flexing, good to have you in here, brother. Thank you for being here. They need you. You're right, Flex. They could use your support on the sideline. Caleb, I'm definitely letting you join today, man. You've dropped some super chats, so appreciate your support. I'm going to put the link up in a second, and I'll bring you guys on. Let me stop rambling. I'll put the link in the chat so you guys can join in now. There comes the link. So get the link. If you want to join in. I'd like to bring on some new people as well. And I don't think I'm going to get to everybody depending on how many join. I got some back end scheduling stuff and some production stuff that must be handled, but I will take a couple people for sure. Kadeem checks and says, I missed Super. Kadeem, let me get you, my man. Let me get Kadeem. Kadeem says, which wide receiver was winning? I saw no separation in that. Well, Kadeem, you're 100% right. Nobody won today. That's for damn sure. And that's why I said the point about Britton Covey. People were like, Britton Covey's not a wide receiver 3. I'm like, okay, maybe Britton Covey's not a wide receiver 3. Britton Covey got a lot more separation than I've seen Jahan Dotson get. That's for sure. Nobody got separation today, Kadeem, to your point. So thank you for joining in, brother. Thank you for the super chat. Let's get to a couple of our JAKIB Nation members. I'm going to start it off with my good friend, Bob Brown. Bob, you ready to go? I'm going to bring you up first. I'll bring Bob Brown in now. Bob, you're my voice of reason as an old Eagle fan, as a guy that's been covering this or watching this team for a long time. How concerned are you? How big are these problems? Are they fixable, Bob Brown?
Problems are fixable. The issue that I have, first I'll say this, Cilio's wrong.
About
First and
Cilio makes
foremost,
Cilio makes a lot of claims. You gotta clarify what's
You're right. Well, if you flip a coin 100 times, you call heads and tails at the same time, you're going to be right 100% of the time. He's not right. Let's go to Baltimore. Baltimore has a similar quarterback. They didn't take that quarterback and try to make him something he wasn't. They hired an offensive coordinator that set his system to the skills of the guy that they had. We didn't do that. In 22, and I've said this on the show with Cilio, and you've heard it. In 22, Jalen Hurts was Magic Johnson. He ran the floor, he distributed, it was magic, and he earned a $50 million contract. And to congratulate him, they said, that's great. Now we want you to be John Stockton. We don't want you to drive to the hole. We want you to run set plays and shoot threes. And that's not his game. That's a mistake. They are playing the guy out of position. Now, are turnovers a problem? Yes. Is he confused out there? Absolutely. He wants to run, but he tries to climb the pocket and step up. There were lanes he had, and he tried to stick in there. He doesn't have a feel. He's not going to have a feel in 4 weeks. He's never been asked to do these things. You watched him in Alabama. Was he asked to do those things in Alabama? No.
Not even close.
He was an athlete playing quarterback, and he was damn good at it and got us to the Super Bowl. And we said, in typical Philadelphia Eagle organization fashion, it's plug and play. We have a scheme. The guy looks good in the uniform. Now change everything about him so that we feel good about what we're doing, and it doesn't work. And for the guys out there, Cilio, and as John McMullen, my buddy, who says, if you think that Vic Fangio and Kellen Moore aren't good coordinators, you don't know. Well, he's full of crap, because if they know what they're doing, they can make in-game adjustments and in-season adjustments. And if we're going to slam Jalen Hurts for not being able to perform unless he has star talent around him, well, that sword cuts both ways, because Fangio doesn't have the guys that he needs to run his defense, but we're giving him a pass because he doesn't have the guys. Kellen Moore needs certain players. He needs the right type of quarterback to run his system, and he doesn't have it. Let Jalen Hurts play Jalen Hurts football. And if he burns out in 2 years, then that's fine. But $50 million to watch him play like Kirk Cousins is an embarrassment to this organization in this city. Soft serve defense is crap. Okay? And the offense for Kellen Moore, where we were talking what? We wanted to see offense, and we want the offense to turn around and allow Jalen to figure out the coverage. We don't have any. There's no motion. And the last 2 weeks, 15 points and 16 points. We had 21 points in the second game, and we scored 34 points on the crappiest field we're going to play on. Send me back to Brazil and let me keep scoring 34 points.
Yeah, amen. Amen to that.
That's absolutely insane. Okay? And you and I talked about it last week, and I know you're short on time, so I'll let you go. But you turn around and say, next man up, and they just turn around and say, we knew going in, correct me, hey, JAKIB Nation, we knew AJ and Smitty weren't going to be there, so Kellen Moore had to know they weren't going to be there. We knew it was going to be 100 degrees. It's Tampa, Florida. Nothing there was a surprise. And I said it last week. The best thing for our defense is ball control, and we came out of the gate and threw the ball 3 times, 3 and out, and we put Jordan Davis and Carter back on the field in 100 degrees, and that's on the offense.
It's so true, Bob. It's so true, and it's so common sense. It hurts to hear.
Okay, and tackling is a want-to thing. To watch them run up full speed, and Prince is right. You play off that far, okay, and you have to come flying up. It is damn hard. But Pop Warner football, you come up, you break down, you square the guy up, and you take him. You don't run at him like a missile and they just slide like it's a slip and slide. Our team is the exact epitome of our coach. It took on his demeanor. And our coach has a know-nothing job, and our team has absolutely a rudderless feel to it right now, and it starts at the top. And I don't mean Nick Sirianni. I mean Howie Roseman. He built this team, he hired the coaches, and now we're just adrift down the river, and everybody's shocked. This is insane. It's absolutely insane that the team that I love knows that we have an athletic quarterback that can cause problems, and we are basically putting a bit in his mouth and telling him to stand in there and be a good soldier. He's not going to get more fired. Moore's going to get more fired. This was the perfect game to go back and run RPO. You've got no receivers. It's 100 degrees. The defense is going to be gassed. And Todd Bowles is going to have to figure out what to do. And we came out and said, no problem, Todd. We're going to throw the JV receivers. That's a joke.
Well said, Bob Brown. Bob, thanks for sharing your thoughts, man. I think you're spot on with a lot of what you said. It's clear you know the football, you know football well, and you've been covering this team for a long time. So I appreciate your passion and your enthusiasm. We're in a tough spot right now with this team. Hopefully they can turn it around. You think they will turn it around? Last question.
No. I think that they're going to be a middle of the road team. Now the NFC's weak. And we come out of the bye and we play some teams that we can get overrun. They correct some things. But as you said last week, our expectations are not to win the East and limp into the playoffs.
No,
is this team right now a Super Bowl team? No. Can it be? This team cannot be a Super Bowl team if you tell Jalen Hurts he needs to do 7 steps drop, read a defense, and stay in the pocket, because that's not his game. The scheme that he's good at took Kansas City to the end of the game in the Super Bowl, and we were one fumble away from beating Kansas City. Why are we asking the kid to do something he's not comfortable doing when we know doing what he's good at, he earned a $50 million contract?
It makes no sense. There's no common sense involved. Bob, thanks for joining today, man. I'll talk to you again next week. All right, brother?
Great job, pal. Have a good week.
There's Bob Brown. Great stuff from Bob Brown. There, I got a bunch of people in the chat I'm going to get to. I see my man Akbar, MadBird's in there. The O-line guru, he's a new guy I haven't had up, so we'll get to him. And Clairevoy is also in the chat. And then HotSport, I see all of our people. Let's go to our man Akbar next, who's in the chat. He got in first. Akbar, talk to me, brother. How you feeling after this 2-2 game? I've talked to you after each game. I think we'll do it each week at this point. Where are you, man? We're 2-2 going into the bye week.
My man, Big House Krause. Thanks for having me, homie.
I like that.
What I got is Baker Mayfield playing like Steve Young, and Jalen Hurts playing like Steve Martin. You see what I'm saying? Like the bull's bum juice. Yo, Jalen, your bum juice, bum sauce. He's trash, dog. Like, okay, is Jalen a good football player? He's a good football player. I give him that. But as far as like quarterback wise, I don't agree with Bob was saying a lot of good shit, but I don't agree with, like, keep Jalen a RPO guy. The league caught up to the RPO. The RPO is not
pushback with it as well.
The RPO is not that like that no more. Like you can throw it in there, but you still got to be a sustainable quarterback in a pocket. And the Bulls just don't have the feel for it. Now, I remember back in the day, you used to see Dak when he comes out prior to the game. He's working on his mechanics, like he was doing that hit thing
and he got clowned for it.
Huh?
He gets clowned for it all the time, but you see why
he gets clowned for it. But I mean, but look how he played though. I mean, the Bull got good mechanics in the pocket. Look at Brady. Every year you hear about Brady. Brady is working on the off season to perfect his game where he was deficient at some point. He was always working. This cat not doing that, man. There's no reason in the world. Now, this is so what Kellen Moore is new. He been playing this style defense going on 2 years. Like, at what point do you work on your footwork? At what point do you work on moving in a pocket? At what point do you work on knowing when the blitz is coming? At what point do you look at the fucking routes that's running? Sometimes you should be able to.
Do you think it's a you either have it or you don't thing, or you think he can get better at it if he spent the time on it?
Nah, man, he ain't got it, man. You remember Derek Carr? Remember that great season Derek Carr had, and then he got hurt? We never seen him again, have we? What quarterback have we ever seen come in the league was half-assed and then after 4 years, they were awesome. Except for like Brady, he like the only one. Like Brady, even when Brady was first starting out, he wasn't trash. Like he's had mechanics. He can look at Purdy. Purdy bad as shit, dog. Purdy bad bull. Like I like the bull.
He's playing good right now, man.
Huh?
He's on right now, Brock Purdy. He looks damn good, and that's why he don't got anybody playing for him right now. Debo's out. I mean, and he's playing good ball.
I don't give a fuck. I don't give a fuck what coordinator you bring in. You could bring in fucking Lou Holtz from back in the day with his running style, offense. That shit not sustainable in the NFL. You got to be able to work that pocket. You got to be able to read defenses. You got to be able to look one way. You know what I mean? Look at linebackers off one way and throw it the other way. He don't do none of that shit, man. And Sills, you got to stop comparing this dude to Mahomes and the other kid, Josh Allen. You gotta compare this dude to backups, man. You can't compare him to no starter. What starter? He looked worse than any starter ever. I never seen a quarterback, to my knowledge, like just be in a pocket and just look lost. He looked lost. Like he looked like he think he on a baseball field.
Yeah, it's like he's on lava, man. He's standing on lava in there.
He don't know what the hell he's doing, dog. So listen, if he was a serviceable quarterback, we could get we can get knee deep in the playoffs if we had a good defense. And our defense is trash. Our defense is trash, dog.
Akbar, you start getting that. We're gonna be here all night, brother. I gotta run. 2-2 going into the bye week. You feeling all right? Is this season becoming a wash for you? Where are you on this?
I'm washed. It's a wash, man. We don't have a quarterback. We don't have a quarterback.
I got news for you, brother. 2025 is gonna start. We're gonna kick off in September of next year, and Jalen Hurts is gonna be your quarterback. It don't matter who the coach is, who the GM is. It doesn't matter if Jeffrey Lurie sells the damn team. Jalen Hurts gonna be your quarterback.
That's a shame. I wish he would break his leg or something, and then now I'm joking. But I'm just saying, like maybe he catch the flu or something, and then bring Carson Wentz back. Bring Carson Wentz. We need a different quarterback, man. And the defense. The word of the week is abysmal. Our team is abysmal. Like
I like that word.
We are not.
You comment that in the chat that your mom used to say that word?
No. What my mom used to tell me was, "Fake it till you make it," and that's what Jalen.
You guys, I thought you had a comment in the chat this week that was like when stuff went wrong in my house. I think my mom used to say a bit or something. You said, I thought.
Oh yeah, you're right. I don't remember what it was though.
I forgot the word. All right, I got to run, Akbar. I appreciate it, bro. I'll talk to you after the game. Not next week because there's the bye week, but hopefully the game after that. All right, brother.
All right, that's what's up. Good, nice. Thanks for having me, Z. You have a good night, dog.
Appreciate you, Akbar. I'll talk to you later, man. There's Akbar joining. Great stuff from Akbar. As always, love talking to Akbar. My weekly segment with Akbar becoming a big hit. By the way, the biggest takeaway of that was bum juice. He's saying bum juice, and I'm trying to keep a straight face doing a show, listening to my man Akbar. He is hilarious. Let's get to my next boy. Who do I go to? MadBird. MadBird, you ready? I'll bring you up now. Let's go to MadBird.
Yo, what's up, Zander?
How you doing,
How's it going, man?
Good, man. Great to have you back on. Haven't talked to you this year. I talked to you in the preseason.
Preseason, yeah.
Yeah. Your thoughts, man. 2-2 going into this bye week. Still feeling good about this team, or where's your head at?
I wasn't too concerned about this game because we're going in the bye week. We gotta get everybody healthy. Everybody's hurt. I was more concerned with just getting everybody healthy. Everybody's about 2-2, 1-2 going into this week. So the 3-0 teams, maybe Vikings look pretty good, but other than that, I don't know yet.
It's still too early to tell. There's a lot of teams that are going to come back to reality. I will say the Commanders look legit. I think the 49ers are going to be a lot better than they've played.
I think the 49ers, once the 49ers get healthy, they're going to be a good team.
Exactly. They're going to be a good team. So there's still some players out there, and playing like we are is not good. I want to ask you about Jalen Hurts. He seems to be, he's always going to be the lightning rod. He's the quarterback, but I will say the tide seems to be turning just from my perspective. Like I said, I read and consume JAKIB Nation all day. I don't really, have much time to go on ESPN and listen to what they're saying.
Mhm.
But JAKIB Nation has always supported Jalen Hurts. We got a lot of people now who are turning on the quarterback. Where are you on Jalen Hurts?
I'm gonna ride and die with Jalen, but
You got
it's
questions.
a problem. It's a problem. Rolling out right, he's trying to limit that, and I can tell he's trying to limit rolling out right. But holding on to the ball that long, I don't know if we got to get plays quicker or he needs to read the play. I always say this on Twitter is that there are players open just about most plays, and Jalen is not even looking at him. Dallas Goedert's open a lot. He was open today a couple times. I know there's a couple of drops, so I'm gonna give a little, pause there. But Jalen just, I don't know. Is it the height thing with him, with the linemen? I really don't know. I would think it'd be a little bit more corrected by now, but it seems to drive me nuts because it's getting me insane to where he's not improving on it. And I see it week in and week out. I'm not upset about the loss today, but I'm upset with the effort and I'm upset with the constant same issues. The issues are not being addressed. We don't need to be using broomsticks in practice. We need to get to the meat and potatoes of this team. Right. And we need to get stuff together. And Nick teaches accountability and fundamentals. I'm not seeing it. And if that's what our head coach is going to be, I want him at least take care of that. And if that means going after everyone individually or saying, hey, we need to put our foot forward and we need to get our stuff together, I'm going to be okay with Nick. But for the situation that he's in, I get it. I'm not putting too much blame on him or the coaches. I think the players, I saw CJ I saw him avoid a tackle, and I could be wrong, and I could get a lot of hate for that. I want this team to be a great team, like Sil says, and it's like I don't have any kids, but if you have a child out there and you want them to succeed, this is what you want. This is how you feel about the Philadelphia Eagles, and it's failing right now.
Let's see how it all plays out. Matt, thanks for joining the show, man. Great to talk to you again. Hope you're doing well out there, enjoying the season, enjoying all your time. Appreciate all your support of the channel. I'll talk to you again soon. All right, brother?
Sure, brother. Go Birds.
Yep. Go Birds, man. There's MadBird. Thank you to MadBird for joining in. We've had MadBird, Akbar, Bob Brown, all excellent commentary from our chat. Let's go to my man, O-Line Guru. This is a new guy. We have never had him on. O-Line Guru, what's up, brother?
What's up, man? How you doing?
Man, we need you today, man. We needed an O-Line Guru out there to give, to help them out.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. I was Caleb Brandon, the one in the chat.
Oh, okay, cool. Good. I was going to ask you what your name was in the chat.
Yeah, I know a few people in the chat probably know me. I've been on Lower Brunson Gate City. A few other people's doing breakdowns.
Okay, cool. Your take on the game, man. Where are you on this team? 2-2 going into the bye week. Obviously, that was an ugly game, but when you zoom out a little bit, you're missing AJ, you're missing Devontae, you're missing Lane Johnson. You're not expecting it to be pretty. Where are you on this team? 2-2 going into the bye week.
I'm actually not as negative as most people, I would say. Obviously, in the beginning, it was really bad. I think that we actually made good second half adjustments, but we're not talking about enough. We made great second half adjustments, even with walking the Slay up on Mike Evans instead of having everybody 10 yards off the ball on defense. Also, with us running the ball more in the second half, it seems as if our coaching staff woke up. In the first half, playing against playoff teams, you can't be down 24, and that's why I was really honing in on us not running the ball with Saquon Barkley till 5 minutes left in the first half. That's asinine. And you don't have your wide receiver 1 and wide receiver number 2.
You think they got behind though? You think they got behind though because you go down, you're down 21-0. The Eagles have had 8 snaps on offense. Now all of a sudden it's like I can't even run Barkley if I wanted to.
But
now you're right. The first couple were brutal, but
this is the thing about it though. I see where you was coming from there, but even in the second half, you see we still ran the ball. We were still down 2 possessions. And also with that, we was only down 14. It was still like it was 8 minutes, and it worked. And it was still 8 minutes left in the first quarter. It was a whole football game left. 14 points ain't that much when you got the ball, and it's still the first quarter. So we didn't run the ball at all. And this is my biggest ick with it. We played against the Tampa Bay Buccaneers twice in the playoffs. I did a film breakdown of one of them in depth. We played against them twice. Same thing. We didn't run the ball. We got behind, and we try to rely on Hurts with the arm. And I understand that we pay him a lot of money. I'm a fan of Hurts. But it's like in any league, you got to be able to coach to the players that you have.
Right.
And we're not doing that.
A credit to John, because John always says that this team, that's not what they're positioned to do, is play from behind, especially when you talk about no AJ Brown on the field.
And then our defense, and then Cilio and all of them keep saying, "Is it the coordinators? The coordinators." People keep saying that we had coordinator changes on defense and stuff, but it's the same scheme. It's a bend but don't break scheme. So I know people keep saying, "Oh, it's the why are we blaming the coordinators?" When in reality, we're not changing nothing. It's the same. Imagine the same coach there essentially. There's nothing being changed. We're still 10 yards off the ball. We're running minimal man. We have no elaborate blitzes. Our most elaborate blitz is the 5 down. This is what we have been doing. And when we won our first Super Bowl, Jim Schwartz was the complete polar opposite.
Literally.
That's something that I just not realizing how Dan Staley and some of them not really putting into consideration when they keep talking about different coaching staffs. Well, is there a different scheme though? It's the same scheme. It's the same as that scheme. There's nothing different.
The problem is, it's one of those things we're gonna have to live with it, because this organization is 4 straight now, bro. Like they've hired 4 straight coordinators
from that scheme.
From that scheme. So it's like, we can sit here and say we want Jim Schwartz back till we're blue in the face. If they ain't gonna do it, it's almost like a mute point.
Do you know why? Do you know why?
Are we just fucked?
Do you know why the scheme worked the Super Bowl year though? The scheme worked the Super Bowl year because we had better first and second down play calling back to the offense. We don't run the ball. So when we was ahead, RPO was very heavy that year. Remember, last year we went down to RPO. We stopped running the RPO. This year we're not running the RPO as much, and we didn't do enough design direct handoffs to the running back and elaborate run schemes. So we don't do that first and second down. Now we're behind. You're playing behind, and now you're behind score-wise as well. We was in front of them, so we can play the bend but don't break style. Now that you're playing from behind, you feel as if you got to throw the ball more, and your defense is not built to play that type of game. I just feel as if, like, the coaching, and the reason why I keep kind of harp on the coaching, I do feel as if Bill Belichick will bring discipline. That's all I'm gonna say. We need structure. At this point, we need a consistent structure. We need somebody not to have. We need to protect the ball, and we need structure week in and week out. And right now, it just seems we're lacking that. And I personally feel as if you got to somewhat hold the coach accountable. And I'm a Nick Sirianni fan. Like, we got to be honest. Jalen Hurts has the most wins out of his class. He's been winning as well. And also, he was 10-1 last year. Sirianni was the coach of that team. We got to have some type of open view. They're not horrible, but I mean, we do need to tighten up. So
yeah, we got some problems. Hey, O-line, thanks for joining, bro. Caleb, your name is. I know that. Thank you for your support of the network. Great stuff today, man. You know your stuff clearly. Great to have you on. Hopefully, I'll talk to you again soon down the line. All right, brother.
For sure, man. I'll be on later on.
Awesome. Thank you, man. There's good stuff from him, Caleb Brandon, in the chat. He was great today. I got two more guests I'm going to get to. HotSport, I'm going to come to you last just because Clairevoy jumped in before you, and I haven't had him. So, HotSport, thanks for being patient. You always are. Let's get to my man, Clairevoy. What's up, brother? How you doing on this football Sunday?
What's up, Zander? What's going on?
Not much, man. How you feeling? 2-2 going into the bye week. Brutal game today, but, you know, how you feeling on this team? You still feeling like we're a Super Bowl team or what? Where are you?
No, not really. I feel like we're kind of what we were last year, honestly.
That's what it looks like.
It sounds bad to say it like that, but our offense, like, we keep having this, like, we try to fit a square peg in a round hole all the time. Jalen Hurts is the best RPO quarterback, but we think he's Peyton Manning, you know? And it hurts. And it hurts, and I think we suffer because of that. You know, our defense be good if we were up 14 points. I think you'd see Huff would have some sacks right now, but he don't because we're not up. We're always from behind. Man. He can't even get on the field because they're afraid of us running the ball, you know?
Right.
So you run into these issues, and it's just like, man, how am I, a fan, able to see this, but our coaches that get paid all this money can't see it? Makes no sense to me.
That part of it is it almost defies too much for me to believe that it's true. In other words, is there other directives being given to these coaches to stick to what they're doing, you know, in a way that they know it's not even going to work? You know, it's some of the stuff is so common sense. Like Bob Brown came on earlier and Bob's breaking this down. And I'm like, do coaches, like you just said, coaches that get paid millions, do they not see this? Do they not realize this? But, you know,
are they not watching what we're watching?
Right.
You know what I mean? Because it's like, man, like Jalen Hurts, he doesn't really have much progression. It is what it is. Like,
yeah, where are you on Jalen? Because that seems to be the topic of the conversation in the chat today. A lot of fans, I don't want to say they're turning on him, but they're expecting more of him. And I think that's fair. Where are you on Jalen Hurts?
Jalen Hurts wins, right? He wins, and I'm happy that he does win, but so did Tim Tebow. You know? And to me, he reminds me of Tim Tebow right now. Do you see him sailing the balls today? And it's like, dude, guys are wide open. You're throwing it five yards out of bounds. You know, it sounds bad to say it like that, but at least today, that's what it was. But the interceptions, all that, I feel like if we were to have more of a, honestly, go back more to that RPO, simplify the offense a little bit, have like obviously not everything on the outside, but have a little bit more crossing routes, then he might be better.
Yeah, we'll see.
And rely on Barkley. Like, there's no need for us, when we know we have our wide receivers down, to not hand the ball off to Barkley. Instead of every first down, try to throw the ball. And they're like, oh, shit, we're 1-10. Well, let's run the ball. And then they're like, oh, they're going to run the ball. And it's like, oh, it's third and 7. Let's run the ball or pass the ball. And then guess what? Then now we punt the ball. That's like how it was the whole first half. And it's like, dude, like, what are we doing?
Yeah, no question. So where are you on the season? You think we're in good shape? Think we can turn this around? I mean, look, we're 2-2. It's easy to sound the alarms when your team looks like that in a game. You're missing your 3 best players on offense. This team can get healthy. You know, do you still think this team can be a Super Bowl team? Can they fix some of these problems this year?
I think they can fix some of their problems. I think ultimately that these problems will pop when we don't want them to, in the regards of like a playoff experience.
Yeah, that's the fear. Pressure changes everybody,
Well, you go to your habits. You go to your habits when pressure happens.
Exactly.
And one of the things that scares me the most is I just don't have the faith in our head coach. I don't think our head coach is leading the players the way that they need to be. Like, I feel like he's a little soft, honestly. It's just me. Like,
I don't think
he's
that's
soft.
a think thing. I think that's a fact, brother.
Well, I mean, the limp wrist and all, you know what I mean? And so he's just soft. Well, the players are ultimately not being pushed to not be soft. You know what I mean?
No,
and I think when a push comes to shove, like that's where I think this team fails. Talent, we have one of the best rosters in the league. I even think some of our softness is an issue even on defense. Look at the tackle and look at a lot of aspects,
Yeah.
It's just it hurts to see, because I'm a Philly fan, and seeing the defense just be like this, and then the offense, like our offense is $200 million, and they're playing worse than our defense this year. Think about that. Our $200 million offense is playing worse than a bunch of undrafted or just cast-offs on defense.
No doubt. Clairevoy, thank you for joining today, brother. Thank you for your support of the channel over the last couple of weeks. I know we've connected on a couple platforms, so I appreciate your support, man. It means a lot to me, supporting our network. So thank you for being a member here on JAKIB Sports. Thank you for supporting us, and I'll talk to you again soon. All right, brother?
Yeah, bud. I'll see you, man. Have a good one.
All right, man. Thank you. There's great stuff from Clairevoy. Let's go to our last JAKIB Nation member who's going to join in today. That's my man, HotSport. Give me some of that Aussie optimism, Anton. Do you have any for me today?
You know what, Zander? I do, but I'm a bit pissed off, and not at the Eagles. I'm pissed off at our fans. I mean, if anybody watches my content, and obviously I'm new starter, I have a segment called Anton's Picks, and I literally said, if A.J. Brown and Lane Johnson are out, the Eagles are not winning this game. It's a write-off. Then I had the information the next day that AJ and Lane were both in practice. And I said, if they play, we win. And look, what are you supposed to expect out of this team today when you literally have Emily and Paris at wide receiver 2, right? You have Mike Ross from Suits at wide receiver 3. Like what the fuck do we want out of this guy?
I get it.
I'm not even kidding.
That's going to be Anton, and you're ahead of the curve, because that's going to be a lot of the conversation later in the week when you settle in, you get overreaction Monday, and you start to analyze, where you are as a team. But I will say, Anton, this team's got some big problems. This team, and I know, look, I get it. You can be optimistic. This team has some problems that you wonder as a fan base. Forget us having expectations of a Super Bowl. They sell us. The team from the top to the bottom, they sell us. This team is so great that you should expect greatness from this team. And then when it doesn't look like it and we all turn, we're now bad fans. I don't view it as we're bad fans. I think we're expecting greatness. And I think this team has some big problems that really they shouldn't have, especially you talk about it, the one, we just had Clairevoy mention it. They got a $200 million offense. Like, I don't really want to hear excuses.
But Xander, that $2 million offense was on the injury table today.
No, it was.
Like it wasn't there. Of course, 50 million of that 200 million was in there today, and he played terrible today. And look, at the same time, I gave him an out with all the weapons missing. The guy also looked lost out there today, and
yeah, he did. Where are you on him? I mean, look, and I've asked that question to everybody that's come on, just because I'm sensing it's somewhat of a change, just in expectation among the fan base. Where are you on Jalen? Are you still confident he can lead us to the promised land, or are you starting to have your doubts?
I'm gonna sound like I'm in cuckoo land here, but when Jalen Hurts is at his best, like at the end of the Super Bowl year, I had him in the top 3 best quarterbacks. I had Patrick, Josh Allen, and Jalen after 2022. Do you not agree in that form?
I would agree. I would disagree to some extent, but I think he was in the ballpark as an elite guy.
But I'm just saying, at his best.
Yeah.
I just feel like, for instance, I'll take the Buccaneers games as an example. In both of those games, he's playing behind the 8 ball. He's playing with his arms tied behind his back. He doesn't have AJ in the game. He doesn't have Devontae in the game. If he has his weapons in the game, you saw the Packer game, yeah?
Yeah.
No, Barkley's getting touchdowns. AJ's ripping up big plays. Devontae's getting big lots of catches. With this offense, when everybody is healthy, it's coming. Now the problem is, and I'll give you this is the honest truth on Jalen, is it's very obvious to me right now is that he does need all those pieces in place for him to perform, and that would be a criticism. That would tell you that he's not an elite quarterback, but he's a serviceable quarterback if he has everything in place. And look, I think Colin Cowherd,
my brother Anton, I'm not sure if you're realizing how big of a drop off what you just explained is.
I know, I do realize.
You do, right? I mean, you just explained to me a Josh Allen level elite player, and you've ended now that thought at a serviceable mid-level quarterback that needs. I mean, brother, you're admitting you're not ready to say it.
No. So what I'm saying is that when he has the weapons, he can look like Josh Allen.
Well, yeah.
And when he doesn't, he can look like I'm an Eagles fan, so I'll do it. Dak Prescott. I never rated Dak Prescott. Like Dak Prescott without any weapons looked terrible.
Eagles fans underrate Dak Prescott for sure.
I know.
Yeah.
I do that as well. But look,
good quarterback.
But look, man, the Eagles are going to get healthy. We're going to get into the bye. I just don't like it every single time that we lose, the sky is falling. Like we lost to the Falcons by 1 point, the sky was falling. And today, I literally, I'm going to be honest, I live in Australia. The game started at 3 a.m. I woke up at 5 a.m., right?
So you didn't catch the first. Oh, make sure you go back and watch the first half.
So, Zan, this is what I do, right? Because I understand. There are 45 minutes of commercials. There is 15-minute halftime. I literally watch the game on delay. I skip all the commercials, but by the time the game ends, I'm ending at the same time as you. Nice. So I watched the entire game.
Yeah.
But I knew I was only waking up at 5 a.m. today because I knew that we were going to lose. And like I was flipping through, I was like, okay, yep, all right, yep, 3 and out. All right, yep, 3 and out. Buccaneers score, Buccaneers score, Buccaneers score. And the problem here is again, and some of you guys have said, our offensive coaching staff go out with Emily in Paris and Mike Ross and think it's Devontae Smith and AJ Brown. And it's like, what?
Yeah, they run the same offense with those dudes and expect them. Yeah. It's almost like they want them. They want so bad for them to let the players know they believe in them, that they're willing to die on the hill with them playing like it. Anton, thanks for checking in, man. We needed a little bit of Aussie optimism to close the show today. Thanks for joining, man. We'll talk to you again soon.
Yeah, no worries, bro.
All right, good stuff there from HotSport. Appreciate everybody, man. What a great. I'll tell you what, it's a lot easier to lose when you're an Eagles fan. When I got the great people on here to cheer me up. By the way, my number one takeaway from all of our great people who joined today, and everybody was fantastic. I thought the O-line dude, Caleb, thought he was great. That was the first time having him on. I don't see him in the chat much, so hopefully we see more of him in the chat. He was great today. Thought everybody was great. But guys, what's the number one takeaway from all the people who spoke? It's bum juice. It's bum juice. It's Akbar again. With bum juice coming in. Akbar, you were on fire today. Man, everybody was great. Great stuff from HotSport, who was just on from Australia. Pretty good dedication, right? Getting up at 5 a.m. Got the game on rewind so he can zoom it all up. So good stuff from him. Good stuff from everybody, man. A couple more super chats I want to make sure I get to before I get out of Dodge. By the way, everybody, I'm just gonna get ahead of this right now, so you all know. we got a bye week now. So we got a 2-week period of hell freezing over in the city of Philadelphia on YouTube, on sports radio, on the TV stations, in the barbershops, wherever you are. Hell will be freezing over in the city of Philadelphia for 2 weeks, and it might be happening on JAKIB a little bit as well. I don't know if I'll be able to contain Big Sills tomorrow when he settles in. I thought Big Sills was mild today. I think he's going to ramp it up a little bit for tomorrow. Brian Pumper checks in. Brian, thank you for all your support of the channel, man. One of our best viewers. I appreciate that very much, brother. Brian Pumper says, I'll tell you why this team is not good. Your current captains are all soft-spoken betas. I can't name one alpha personality that has a CPAP. Brian, let's say we run through I will say, you know what, the one thing I hated when they released the captains this year is you take Devontae Smith off for Jake Elliott. I mean, hey, I like Jake Elliott too, everybody. Don't get me wrong. Jake DeMake, I get it. He's great. Awesome kicker, 61-yarder. I get it. You're going to take Devontae Smith off the captain for Jake Elliott? I mean, when they did that, I'm looking and I'm like, why would you do that? But I guess it's voted on by the team. So let me look at the 2024 captains and run through this with Pumper. You got Jalen Hurts and A.J. Brown, Jordan Mailata, Jake Elliott, Brandon Graham. I wouldn't say Brandon Graham is soft-spoken, but you might be right in that he's not the in-your-face confrontational type of guy. Then you got Lane Johnson and Darius Slay. I mean, I don't know if beta was the right word there. I wouldn't call those men betas, but I mean, I think you might be right in that there's no real big in your face guy in that room. And maybe that's what they need. I mean, I'm not really sure, you know, Nick is not that as well. So we really don't, I don't know, you know, it's a fair point by Pumper. Pumper checks in again. I keep going to Pumper because he keeps dropping me super. So I appreciate it, Brian. He says, and I don't know if that's his real name, by the way. And he says, where's the Fred Warner person? Now, it's a good take. It's fair. Pumper, I don't entirely agree with how you worded it, but I get the sentiment of what you're getting at. Brian Pumper here says, Jalen Hurts is not a real quarterback. He's a male model impersonating as a QB. He's okay with throwing a pick if he looks good doing it. Fake R and fake skills. Pumper, you're going off, man. That's too harsh. Jalen is still a very talented football player, very talented athlete. He struggles with being a traditional quarterback. That's been his deficiency since he started playing. I mean, even his freshman year of college. So, pretty good stuff there from Brian Pumper. Prince checks in. Preach Bob Brown. Holy shit, preach. Yeah, Bob is on fire today. I love getting Bob Brown on. He does really, really a great job. Caleb, there's Caleb. Checks. Let me just make sure I got all my super chats. I do want to remind everybody, I'm not sure how many people we got left in here. I know you guys are kind of hanging out late with me. It's been 2.5 hours we've been on the show. I do want to remind everybody, I got some really exciting stuff coming, and I hope you guys are excited about it as I am. Maybe it's just my stuff, so I'm excited. But the JAKIB merch line, which some of our viewers helped me out with, Forrest, Emreus, Abe, I'm about to email you when I get off the show, man. I got one of your designs turned into a t-shirt, and I got a couple more coming. They look tremendous. So I think you guys are really going to like the JAKIB merch line. We have some JAKIB merch with I got the embroidered sweatshirts coming. And then some of them have other designs as well. I got the classic brand merch and then some other company designs coming. So I'm really excited because, a lot of people have been asking for merch for many years, and I've been very busy, and I never got it. So never got it done. And I've put in some real time in the last couple of weeks. Abe, I got hoodies, man. The hoodies are fly, Abe. So Abe, if you know me personally, I think most of you guys know me now from listening to me all day, but if you know me personally in my own life off the air, I don't like cheap shit. Okay. I like nice things. I like, if I get a sweatshirt, I don't want cheap stuff peeling off. I don't want, crappy strings. I don't like that. So I went with a nice hoodie, and I'm probably going to offer some alternatives too. But I'm giving you guys basically what I get them for. I'm not looking to make profit on them. I'm just looking to get people out there and get JAKIB the name out there for the people. But the sweatshirts are dope, man. They're going to be embroidered up, little sleeve patch too. So they look really good. The sweatshirts are really dope. Couple colors coming. So, and then Abe, let me see. Should I tease a Should I tease one design? You guys want me to tease a design? Let me tease a design for my man Abe. Abe, this is you, brother. This is your design. Let me find it real quick. Let me find it on my files. You guys didn't even answer if you want me to tease it, but I'm going to tease it anyway. All right. I'm not going to show you it on the merch yet, but I'm going to show you the design here. So this is just the first look at it. This might not be done yet. I might do some changes yet. Everything is still in the air. But this is the first design. And I think this is dope, man. So let me drop that off. JAKIB Sports bleeds green with our sweet JS logo, and it's bleeding green. So for those who don't know, and please let me know in the chat. If you hate this design, let me know. I'll scratch it because I got a bunch of them. But tell me if you guys like this. I think it's really sick. And I kind of want to change it to JAKIB Nation, but I think it looks sick. So for those who don't know, Abe literally drew this for me. Not quite as detailed as this, Abe. I mean, I love you, but it wasn't, but he drew it up. So I knew exactly what he was going for. And I got this made with a graphic designer. So big shout out to Abe. Everybody make sure you give some Abe some love in the chat, because he sent me a bunch of designs, man. He worked hard on them, and he did a really good job. So I thought that was really dope. That was my favorite design I've gotten so far. So I just thought that, like, I'm looking at it, I'm like, damn, that's fresh, man. JAKIB Sports bleeds green. Shout out to JAKIB Nation. So I think I want to change it to JAKIB Nation bleeds green, maybe. I think that'd be cooler, but really, I thought it looked good, and I'm happy. I think it seems like everybody likes it all. Shout out to Abe. Abe, that's fire. Sick. So good. I'm happy you guys all like it. Akbar checks in. Abe, that shit's hot. So really good stuff, Abe. I knew that was a winner, man, when I saw it. And I emailed Abe on Friday to let him know I was thankful for him. So appreciate Abe. By the way, we're going to take care of Abe. Abe, anything you make, like I said, I'm gonna print Abe a t-shirt of it, a sweatshirt. I'm sending Abe the full care package, baby, with the merch on the house. So good stuff. No jersey to give away this week, everybody, which honestly is a little bit unfortunate, because I was hoping to give it away when you talk about a disappointing game going into a bye. I was hoping to, be able to do something with the members that was a positive thing, but Saquon didn't get there, and I'm not going to break on the promise. I'm going to try and do some other things this week, maybe for the channel members. And Terry, if you're still out there, Terry, let me know. I'm sending you to a game. I got it cleared. I got the tickets cleared. I got a pair of tickets and a parking pass. So it's completely free of charge for my man Terry Hayes to go to a game. And then Lucius as well. I don't know if I can do Lucius to a game as well, but I can at the very least do, either a jersey or a JAKIB merch care package for Lucius, who became the JAKIB Nation member as well. So anybody that becomes a JAKIB Nation member, I will take care of you, no doubt, because you guys are big supporters of the channel. And we're really molding in. I'll tell everybody, we're molding into where you guys are giving JAKIB freedom. And what I mean by that is, our supporters keep us on the air, meaning I'm not funded by venture capitalists. I got no big dudes in suits that are writing us checks. That's why I always laugh at people, who are in the chat criticizing me, criticizing, my pop, nepotism, all this dumb shit. I'm like, man, if you guys knew anything about me, you would know that none of that is real. So, but what I mean is that you guys are really starting to support the channel in a way that allows us to, answer to nobody. We are answering to the people that support us. And it's a big thing. So I'm very, very happy with where we are as a network. And I can't thank all of you guys enough for your support of this channel, really helping it grow. It's been going through a change in the last couple of years, the last year. So for those who supported us last year, we have some new people in here, but for those who, supported us last year, it's been a lot of change here at JAKIB, and it's nothing to hide from. I think it's all, it's all good things. As a young entrepreneur, I think it's fantastic to go through some of those things. So, I'm really proud of where we are as a network, despite what the Eagles are 2-2. They struggled today, but appreciate all of you guys, man. You guys are the absolute best. You make it happen. So thanks, everybody. And then I see my man, Terry, checking in. Hell yeah. Terry, Eagles game on JAKIB Sports. I got it for you, brother. The first member of JAKIB Nation. That is no questions asked. Terry Hayes says they're offering a bigger membership. I'm supporting them at a higher level. That is dope. That deserves to be rewarded. And Terry, Eagles game on JAKIB, man. Let me know which game, any of the games in the future. I can get you a pair of tickets, 2 tickets, and I'll even get you the parking pass so you have no out-of-cost expense. Now, if you buy beers or whatever, that's on you. It doesn't cost you a dime to go to the game, other than maybe some gas in the truck. So, Terry, you let me know, brother. Any game, I'm going to send you. Thank you, man, for your support. I appreciate it very much. All of you guys, thank you. I'll read a couple more comments before I get out of here. I know I'm kind of chopping it up, rambling. That's what happens when you get to a 2-hour 40 show after watching a 3.5-hour shit fest of a game. You start rambling to people. Gooby checks in. Gooby, what's up, man? Hope you're doing well. Zander, I told Sills that before that Kellen was a bad pickup. Never forget that Tony Pollard never saw more than 14 touches a game when Kellen was in Dallas. Sound familiar? Expect more screens and curls. Gooby, I don't want to go there yet just because, we've had Saquon's had a lot of touches in these first couple of weeks. So I don't want to go there yet, but I you are right. Now, the other flip side of that is didn't Ezekiel Elliott have his best year under Kellen Moore, or am I tripping on that? That might be wrong. I thought that their running backs had a really big season down there. So we'll see. I don't want to go there yet, Gooby, though, but I appreciate that. Abe checks in. Amazing Sports, best media. Appreciate it, Abe. Thank you, man. Bunch of you guys giving me some love, so thank you guys for doing that. Any other comments on this game? I'll take. Giovanni says defense is soft. Can't make adjustments during game. Brutal. Let me see. Anything more I can get to? Kellen made Dallas odds. All right, that's going to do it, man. Not much. I don't know if I just can't see him or I'm starting to be delusional. But anyway, thank all of you guys. I'm happy you guys like the new merch design, man. I'll bring it up one more time just because I like looking at the damn thing. Abe, you killed this, bro. I think this design came out really dope. So happy you guys all like this. Hopefully you guys pick them up when I release it. I'm still debating, do I want to do just a t-shirt? Do I want to make this in a sweatshirt? I probably wouldn't do this embroidered because that's a big logo. So, I'm happy you guys like it though. So I just wanted to show that one more time. Abe, good job on that, brother. I see one last question that's worth answering for me. Clairevoy says, where do you stand with the team? Zander. Clairevoy, like I said when I came out of the break, I'm stuck between a rock and a hard place with this team because I want so badly to believe that this roster is good. I want so badly to believe that this team can ultimately complete what they tried to complete in 2022, and get over the finish line. We came within one play. Like we didn't go to the Super Bowl versus the Kansas City Chiefs and get blown out. We had Jalen in that game. We had Nick in that game. So much of me wants to be like, why would I deny what I saw with my own 2 eyes if that can't happen? The more that I start to watch, though, the more I listen to people who have been around the game longer than me, respecting, their opinions and kind of watching it unfold. I'd be lying if I said that I wasn't starting to question how this year is going to go. I think they've definitely come down a peg in my eyes in terms of being a Super Bowl contender right now. They have a long ways to go. If you want to compete for a Super Bowl in this league, you gotta be on your P's and Q's, and it's early in the year, so they could still get it to go. But Clairevoy, man, I'm in the middle right now. I know I'm on the media. I'm now on I don't like to call myself a media member because that's bullshit. You guys know I'm not a media member. I'm not a credentialed old school media guy, but I make commentary on the team every day. You can't ride the fence when you make commentary. So I don't like to say that, but that's truly where I am right now. I just don't. I need to see more. Like, is this the last couple of weeks? I don't know. Let me get the hell out of here. You guys are now trolling me. Gooby's trolling me. He's like, Zander can't end the stream. You're right. I can't. I'm rambling. Let me get out of here. Guys, great post-game show today. Great post-game show. I thought John and Dan had great commentary. I don't like to jump in on them. Those are 2 guys, like I said, been around the league for a long time, or been around the game covering it for a long time. So, I like letting them go at it, especially coming off a game like that. I thought it was an excellent show today. Excellent chat commentary. Excellent JAKIB fan segment. From JAKIB Nation. I thought Bob was great tonight. Akbar great as always. Bum Juice. Abe, send me a design for Bum Juice, brother. I got to get that made from Akbar. So good stuff, everybody. That's going to do it for the JAKIB post-game show. Appreciate you all, man, for all the support. Catch you tomorrow, 8 to 10 a.m. Birds 365 should be a great show. And then 2 to 6, National Football Show with Big Sills. I got a feeling Big Sills' show tomorrow is going to be electric. Last week, we sent a record on Big Sills' show for super chats, for likes on during the live stream, except the one day went over 1,000, which was like a glitch. And peak concurrent viewers, and there's a couple other things. That was the biggest show of Versilio in history. So I think we're going to break that again tomorrow coming off this loss. So thanks everybody for being here. Catch us tomorrow on JAKIB Sports. Appreciate all you guys. See you next time.